What's happening, party people, and welcome to this week's edition of Hanging Out with Robert. Just a reminder, this is not a step-by-step detailed instruction video. This is a video that kind of gives you an overview of what I've done since the last episode of Hanging Out with Robert. I try to post these weekly, share with you what's going on with me, show you some things. You may learn some tips and tricks, get some ideas of things that you could do to your ride, and just overall hanging out with me, know what I'm doing. Now, if for some reason you need to contact me directly, my contact information is at the end of the video. There's a clip there. You can watch that clip, see the best way to contact me. And the best way to contact me if you're overseas is through WhatsApp. Easier for me to find those messages. Another good way to contact me is text messaging. Man, there's a lot of people that try to contact me through various forms of social media, and I simply don't have time to check all those things. So there you have it. If you need to contact me, ask me a questions, get some help, see if I got a part you need, call or text is the best way. And again, if you're overseas, you can do that through WhatsApp. I do ship parts worldwide. I often get requests for parts from people, and I'm not that organized to write these things down where I can find them later. So, for example, somebody asked me for an oil block off plate, man, maybe 5 days ago. The very next day or the day after that, I had one that they could purchase. Can't find who it is. So if you need something, don't be shy to contact me every 2, 3 days until I have that down pat. Now, I used to be able to search that stuff in my phone and find it real quick, but the messaging app that I was using to do that, it played out. They quit supporting it, shut it down. I had to switch to a new messaging app, and this one is horrible for doing searches. So if you need something, contact me every few days until I tell you I got it. And then, of course, if it's something that you haven't given me a deposit on, man, be prepared for me to send you a message saying, I found it. You need to send some money for it, because it's just too expensive for me to continue to purchase parts that people don't pick up, or they don't finish paying for. I got storage full of parts that I don't need. So, hey, I just want to give a special thanks to those that are supporting me through Patreon, and there's a few people that send me PayPal. I guess we call them donations, and it's just a way for you guys to support me, show your appreciation for the money that you're saving, the information you get, on and on and on. Some people like to express that appreciation in more than just some kind words. So, hey, I appreciate that support. It's very helpful, especially for days that I'm rained out or something like that. I can't work. Got to work on my own stuff so I can keep moving around. Right now, I got to do some maintenance on my car, and I have a damaged tire that they can't find a replacement for. So instead of replacing one tire, I might have to end up replacing a set, which would really be, I guess, not a good thing, but we'll see. The tire place I deal with, they're kind of a nationwide brand, discount tires. They normally take good care of me. So we'll see what happens on this thing here. And I don't know if they have the ability to help me with all four because they can't get one, but we'll see what happens with that. Now, I'm about to head west. One of the key points to me heading west was for my customer in Lincoln, Nebraska to get all of his parts. He's supposed to get that shipment today. I've been tracking it. It's supposed to be there today. He's going to verify that he has all his parts. And within the next couple of days, I'm heading west. Today's Friday. I got a few things to do here. contemplating not taking lemonade, taking another vehicle. So I might have to service that the next couple of days to get that in tip top shape because, this is a different vehicle that I'm used to, and nobody wants to have vehicle issues while they're traveling. Uh, Man, Lemonade, Panther, I could almost fix those vehicles while I sleep, but some of these other vehicles are a little more challenging, so I need to make sure it's in the best shape as I can get it in so that we don't have any issues. So if you already have appointments with me out west, you could send me a text message or something like that, call me to remind me so I can make sure I get this schedule right. I hate to drive past somebody and have to come back. I got a guy, I guess say customer in one location that, man, he's really needed me to come and take care of his vehicle, but backtracking is too expensive. Nobody wants to pay for me to backtrack. I now, unfortunately, have to be compensated for travel time. I didn't used to do that. I used to travel on my own dime, but hey, if I have to drive 800 miles to get to you, that's 10, 12 hours that I can't work doing something else. So unfortunately, I'm having to get compensated for some of that time. The alternative is for you to ship your car to me, and then I can keep working daily instead of spending a day to get to you, and then having you uh, pay me for the work. Sometimes 2, 3 hours worth of work doesn't cover the expense of traveling to get to you. So I hope you understand that. Usually I try to get multiple people in one location so that travel expense can be shared among many and not just one person. But if I'm coming straight to you and only you, that's cost that you'll have to consume. Even with that, people are still paying 50, 60 cents on a dollar compared to retail shop prices. So you're still saving money, still having a good time, still learning, still getting your work done in a good, proper way. I mean, at the end of the day, people that specialize in a particular, I guess we want to say, career field like I do, these people charge. I know people that charge 285, 350, 450 an hour, and I'm not even near that. So I'm still, I think we would call it affordable. I still do a little bit of, I guess we call it charity work, but for the most part, I have expenses to live just like everybody else, especially when I'm traveling. So I just appreciate you guys understanding that and not, having a mild seizure when I ask you to pay me for my time and the work that's been done. And again, we still often experience arriving at a location, doing a task that someone requests us to do, and it being good and affordable that they want more work done. So we're often spending more time at a location than we initially planned on it. So that puts us back. Then occasionally we run into something that needs to be fixed because you disturb one part when you're fixing another and this falls apart. Now you're hostage, or we're hostage to getting that part in to take care of that. So it's just life. We're doing our best to help as many people as we can. And this video here is me just about completing that yellow sedan that I've been working on for the last few months, and just getting some other things going on. And at the end, there's a little surprise for people that care. So, hey, I appreciate you watching. Again, appreciate everybody's support, and I hope you all are having a great week. Welcome to what we call winter time, because it's gotten cold quick around here. It just went from one extreme to the other. In this video, I was still dealing with upper 80s, which my favorite temperature is in the 60s. So there you have it. Thanks for watching. If you got any questions or something, leave them. Please like, comment, and share the video. I appreciate your support. Have a great day. Welcome to Hanging Out with Robert. That's me. This video contains things that I encounter throughout the day. If for some reason I complete a task and you would like to see the details, you can click on the link in the description area below. This video also contains tips and tricks that I learned throughout the years. I plan on leaving this video accessible for about 30 days. After that, you can view it through my Patreon account. Thank you very much for watching. Kicking off the Tinker Day at the storage facility. Didn't realize this, but now I got an oil change due. Probably something I need to do before I leave town. And I'm getting horrible gas mileage. I think it's because my fuel pump's going bad or my catalytic converter is clogged. You guys may be tired of me whining about that. Here we go, folks. We have the radiator that I like. We are going to get this cracking and hopefully done with here real quick. But I need to find the key first and put on my work shoes. All right, I got the key, the car's unlocked, all the doors unlocked, so that's my cue that the battery is probably good. So the first thing I'm gonna do as soon as I find the battery tester is test the battery, because when I left here yesterday it was 100. I want to make sure that battery's still up there. That'll tell me that I don't have some kind of parasitic drain going on somewhere. So what did I do with the battery tester? As soon as I find the battery tester, I'll do that. In the meantime, I'm gonna get to work. I see the battery charger, but not the battery tester. Oh, there's a battery tester. Let's go ahead and test the battery. Make sure we're good. Then I'm gonna finish the firewall junction. Then I'm gonna finish putting the heater core in. We're gonna put the old one in. Then I'm going to replace the radiator after I drain the coolant. So let's keep going here. It looks good. 12.2 anything tells me it's probably good. So I must have left the key on the day prior and drained the battery down and didn't realize it. I also have a new 90-degree tube for this so I can get this air filter where I want it. 90% health, 40% charge. May have a drain, may not have been charged up properly. We're going to go ahead and put it back on the charge till I get 100% again, but I'm not sure why that's falling down. Maybe something draining the battery. Now when I left this was indicating like a 70%, and I'd rather charge the battery with it not connected to the car, so I'm gonna go ahead and disconnect it from the car, give it a straight shot on the battery instead of being hooked up to the cables and possibly powering the whole vehicle. And yes, the radiator had a decent leak overnight. Let me drain it. Probably about 8 ounces. I'm back. I got the radiator up. Been back about 15 minutes. Get all the screws secured. I loosened the sandwich screws. Position the radiator as high as I could. The intercooler down as low as I could. So I could get that hose off and on without it hitting the bottom of the radiator there. So that's the position you want. Let me go ahead and hook up the hoses. Thought I had everything coolant connected. Thought about it a couple times, set it a couple times, pouring coolant in there, and I'm wondering, why isn't this coolant bottle filling up? Then it hit my lightning fast mind that I had not put the heater core in. I ran around here and the heater core hose was loose. The heater core wasn't in, and it was dumping coolant under the carpet. So I had to get the carpet up, dry under there, dry under the foam so it wouldn't soak in the foam. Installed the heater core, and it looks like we're good to go. I don't see any dripping under there. So I'm gonna fill the coolant system up the rest of the way, and then we'll move on to the next task. I got a new hose for this to get this filter off of the battery. So let me go ahead and install that hose. Man, this hose I purchased is big. This is the one I'm replacing. That has 3 more inches on it that way, 5 more inches on it that way. I'm going to have to cut this thing. But I got to be careful I don't cut off some of it that can fit on my tube or housing for my mass airflow sensor. So let me dry fit this and then see where I need to cut it before I do some cutting. Man, that thing looks like 5 layers of silicone on there. That should last forever. All right, folks, it is closing time. However, I want to see if this car is going to start. We barely got enough oil. We're a quart low on oil, which is not a big deal. It's on the dipstick. Don't know if fuel or none of this stuff. It's got coolant, it's got transmission oil, it's got engine oil. I'm gonna see if it'll start. Mass airflow sensor, every other sensor I know of is plugged in. And I want to see if it starts. I do have it on jack stands, so the control arms are not sagging. That should be okay on the CV axles. Shouldn't have a lot of bearing on them. So I'm gonna start it. Make sure no fluid's coming out of it. Make sure it runs. Maybe run it through a couple of gears and shut it down. Let's prime the oil and the fuel system. So if we're going to prime the oil and fuel system, we're going to unplug the coil so we don't have spark. We're going to unplug the fuel pump so we're not spraying fuel into the cylinders. The fuel pump is fuse number 2, 15 amp. And we're going to crank this car until it gets oil pressure. That might take a minute or two. Do. We want to see the low oil pressure light go out. I think these are all screws for this interior assembly. What in the world did I do with the key? Did I put the key in my pocket? Yep, key's in my pocket. It is 7:02. I ain't worried about the time on the clock. It's in neutral. Let's crank it. Looking for the low oil pressure light to go out. Compression sounds low on this thing. Sound like it's cranking, that's good. Ooh, low oil pressure went out. Let me look under it, make sure no fluid's coming out of it before I try that again. And then we'll hook up the fuel and ignition. I don't see any liquids coming out. We might be in good shape. I'm going to top this oil off before I drive this thing, but I can start it. Oil pressure is good. Let's go ahead, hook up our ignition, and prime the fuel system. Putting the fuse in for the fuel system. Plugging in the ignition coil. I don't think nothing's in the way of it starting. Any danger? We're gonna try to get some fuel pressure. I bumped the starter to get the fuel pressure. Wait, I think I heard the fuel pump. I should have an AFR gauge. I don't have one. That's not good. Let me see if it'll crank. Cranking, not starting. Oh, I don't have the tune on this thing properly. I gotta flash a tune, so I'm gonna do that in the morning. Totally forgot about that. And we're gonna shut it down for the night. I apologize, but hey, at least we got oil pressure. Well, people, today's the big day. I gotta start off by pitching my walking shoes. These are my favorite. Nike Air Zoom Pegasus. My wife told me to look at the bottom of them a day or two ago, and man, I done walked straight through these things. They are done, so I need to order some more of those. Take out the trash, and you may remember, I cranked this thing yesterday for some reason. I was so determined to try to get this thing started yesterday that I tried to start it. I didn't flash the new tune on the computer, which I think is mandatory. And I didn't purge the old fuel out of the fuel line. I got all the old fuel out of the tank, but I didn't pump fresh gas up to the fuel rail, which I should have done, because you don't want old fuel going into your cylinders. So this morning, the first thing I'm gonna do, put the battery on the charger if it's less than 75% from me cranking it yesterday. I'm gonna add about a quart of oil. I'm about a quart low, which is not a big deal on starting the car, but racing it, I would say yeah. I'm gonna disconnect the fuel line there, hook up a hose to it. I think that's gonna be my easiest bet. Hook up a hose to it, flush the fuel line, and then I'm gonna pressurize the fuel line again and flush the fuel out of the fuel rail. Now, the fuel rail had pressure yesterday, but again, I don't know how much I pumped into the cylinders, which could have washed down the cylinders, so I could be in trouble now starting it. But I'm going to do that and flash the ECU and try to start it, and hopefully it'll start and we'll be good to go. I went in this near clear jug so I could see how much went in there and how clear it was, and after cranking about 10 seconds, it got clear. Now, of course, the fuel line's not hooked up to the rail and the ignition coil is unplugged, so we're just cranking. Next, I'm gonna take this fuel line connection off of here and hook it up here and blow air through it while I push in that Schrader valve, which should purge fuel out of the fuel rail, so I don't have to take out that Schrader valve. All right, this took 15 millimeter boxed in wrench, tighten it down, should not leak. Now let's hook up the ignition coil, unplug this fan, switch this ECU over to program mode, and grab my computer and get this thing programmed. I have powered on my computer, which takes forever. It looks like it is up and running. Battery is not 100%, which I was hoping it would be. I can't see what it said there because I got a pop-up 1 hour. Something's trying to happen here that I don't even care about. So let me log into my email and get the tunes on here and find me another extension cord to plug this computer into the car, because I don't want the computer dying or the car battery power dropping power, because I got it on the charger. It was less than 75%, and we'll keep going forward. We are flashing a new tune. Got some progress. As you can see, we have tachometer raised. I thought the check engine light's normally flashing, but it's not flashing right now, but it still looks like we're flashing a new tune, reprogramming the computer. Verifying checksum, finished, completed. All right, let's go reset the car to start. Everything should be good to go. Let's try to start it. Feel like something's missing. Uh-oh, it tried to start that time a little bit. try to give it some gas this time. Sounds like it's not getting enough fuel or something. We're getting close. Almost. Here we go, folks. Running rough. Little bit of throttle response. Let's let this idle for a few minutes. Oh, I don't have the accessory belt hooked up. That's not good. So I'm gonna let it run a minute, shut it down, hook up the accessory belt. Engine's quieter than I expected. I don't see no smoke, which I did expect. Nothing's leaking under the car, which is great. We are moving forward, folks. I'm gonna go ahead and shut it down. Oh, there's a little smoke. I'm gonna go ahead and shut it down and hook up the accessory belt. All right, so what I'm gonna do now is hook up the accessory belt. I'm going to look in the timing area, make sure I don't see any oil leak in there or coolant leak. Real normal to see smoke coming up from back here because anything that was used to clean or whatever the engine needs to burn off that exhaust. I'm going to hook up and install sway bar end links, put some tires on here, and take it for a test drive. All right, we are having mechanical issues. The car is not idling right. It's running very lean. And then it just decided to up its idle and started idling at 2300 RPM. And while it was idling at 2300 RPM, the fuel mix was good on the AFR. It was like 14.4, 14.6. So that's good. I don't know why it's running like 22, 23 when the idle is low. It's supposed to idle at 840 and it seems to be idling around 650, 700. I didn't check the idle. I was out here trying to service the AC and I can't get the AC to cut on unless I jump it. So the system is not cutting the AC on. I got to figure out what's going on with that. And it didn't seem to want to suck down refrigerant easy, and that's probably because the compressor's not kicking on. I'm gonna put the interior back together, put the wheels on it, the rest of the suspension together, and then check my email, see if the tuner sent me some information I need to know, and take this thing for a test drive. Well, my computer's rebooting. I couldn't get it to connect to the computer for the data log I need to do, so I want to do that as well. Let me keep moving. Well, folks, here we go. The maiden voyage. I'm going to do a data log while I'm gone. Yeah. Let's get cracking. Well, let's go see if we could get a vent check done and pick up lunch. That doesn't sound good. This thing does not like starting, like it's out of gas. Ignition is bad. I gotta turn the key back to keep it started. But hey, let's get going. See if we can do a data log. We are moving, people. need an alignment real bad. So I need to do something about that. This is too bad to be trying to drive anywhere like this. Suspension is tight and the dash is quiet. That's good. I'm back at it. While I was getting the VIN checked, there was coolant leaking on this passenger side. When I came up here and looked, this hose right here is leaking. So I'm going to replace that hose real quick and then do a front end alignment. I know the AC is probably more important, but to me, this alignment's more important, man. So I'm gonna do this alignment. I'm gonna back the car up. I'm gonna pull it up on this metal with plastic on it, with oil on it, and plastic folded on top of it to give that tire something it'll pivot on while I try to align it. So let me go ahead and back this car up and put it on this metal. Well, my alignment numbers are good. So unless this thing has these 3 different kind of tires make a difference, that's what it is. I got 2 tires, 1 brand, and 2 tires, 2 other brands. So maybe that's why it's pulling. I'm gonna take it for another little spin, see how bad it feels realistically, and work on the AC. We got the AC working. For some reason, I could not get the AC to work until I put the computer out of my car in this car. And then it worked like a champ. It doesn't make sense to me. I don't know why that's happening, what's going on, what the deal is. But as you can see, it's on, it's serviced, it's running. And now all of a sudden the car's idling good. I don't know why it started idling good all of a sudden. But anyway, I pulled the computer out, put my computer in, started the car, ran it, got the AC working, disconnect the battery, da-da-da-da-da. Now the car seems to be running fine. I don't understand. But, hey, can't beat working. I'm going to take and do another data log run since the car seems to be running better. I don't know why, but it's idling and running good. So I'm going to take it for a ride, hit the highway, and bring it back. Well, party people, let's get started. This is car wash day. I normally do this at least every week, but it's been a couple weeks, so it may take a little longer. These cars are dirty. I knew I heard a big truck. I don't know what's going on here. Dumpster or something. So somebody's gonna be trying to load up some junk, I guess, in that big truck. Let me get cracking. That wheel fell, probably scratching my car. So here we are with this beautiful yellow sedan with the interior torn out because there was coolant in the floor. And I found glass in here. So this car has suffered some kind of window break at one point or another. So I'm going to vacuum it out, pocket any change I find, wipe it down, and then I'm going to power wash the carpets. I got an absorbent pad under there that I'm going to let absorb some of the coolant that went under the foam from the heater core. And we're going to power wash the carpets. Dry them as best we can with our wet dry vac. Put it all back together, put the car in the driveway, and put the dehumidifier in it. until it quits accumulating moisture. So let's keep cracking. Kicking off the Tinker Day. Man, I ordered this thing yesterday morning about 9 o'clock, something like that. And it was at my place somewhere around, oh crap, I got a horrible color. I don't know if I could pick my color. At the house by like 2 in the afternoon. But I got it because I wanted to measure the sound of this car versus the one that I just put together, that yellow sedan. I think that yellow sedan is noisy as all get out, which drives old people crazy. I mean, drives mature people crazy. So I'm going to see how this car is. I'm about to leave church. I'm going to run it in my dash, see what maybe the highest reading on it is, and then test drive that yellow sedan around the neighborhood and see how noisy it is. So let's crack this thing open, load the batteries, and get it going. Box comes open nice and easy. You know, sometimes, like, I'm an audio guy, so I thought about this, and I've always tried to protect my hearing, even though I have tinnitus, or whatever you call it, from my military days. I'm not sure if this thing had been purchased or used before. The box wasn't sealed closed, and it's got a dent there where the batteries are. I don't know. I get the batteries out of here. It should be easy to use. Let me go ahead and load the batteries up. Has a little clip on the back. Open up that. Put the batteries in. You see the directions nice and clear. The orientations of the battery, that is. Huh. We have live music at church, so I probably should have took this thing in there and seen how loud it was in church. I'll do that next Sunday I attend. I'll probably keep this thing with me in the vehicle, so it's handy when I need to check the sound of something. There it is. Let's check the power. Well, there it is running. I don't know if I could adjust how fast it peaks. It's got 81.1 degrees Fahrenheit. Oh, that's nice. Got a temperature thing. I'll read the instructions, see what this other setting is. 52% something. Maybe that's like an average or something. It's on fast. I'd rather put that on slow. There we go. We're on slow, so it's not moving so fast. It's peaking at a high, or maybe, I don't know. It's not moving around anymore. Maybe it's just keeping the high. And so far, we got a minimum and max. Looks like 62 has been the max, 41's the minimum. All right, so we can check this out on this cycle. Fahrenheit, Celsius. Cool. All right, so I'm going to run this thing. Let's go back to fast or slow. There we go. It's back to normal. You go minimum, max, hold it in, go back to normal. And I'm on slow, so we'll drive back to the house and see what our decibel readings are. I think I'm going to reset it because when I set it down, it peaked out at like 82 or something. I should have set it in the seat of the car. Here's the settings. We got a power button here. We got a hold maybe there. We got a maximum, a minimum, and I don't know if that's for the last few seconds. You hold it in, it goes back to active. Fahrenheit, Celsius on the temperature. Temperature's there, 82.8. And then you go fast or slow, letting it let you know where it's going, bouncing around. I think I want to set this thing up here where I can watch it. I don't think it'll hold here in my phone. Oh, wow, look at there. It'll hold in my phone thing. So I'm going to shut it down and fire it back up when I start. And then maybe it'll give me a minimum and max, because I've seen a minimum and max of 81 on it when I set it down. So I don't know if that's for the whole cycle. So I'm gonna shut it off, and then I'm gonna turn it back on. All right, so we seen it went up to 84. So let's see if we got a minimum of max of 84. Max is still showing 67. Average. Oh, okay. Maybe those are minimum, max, average. Because it say A. All right. All right, there we go. Let me shut it off. Order my pizza. Go pick up my pizza. See what we have. There we go. All right, I'm leaving our pizza place. I'm going to cut this thing on. It cut itself back off. I don't know if it's got like a 15-minute timer or what, but let's see how noisy the car is until we get home. Okay, so the average. I don't know if this average was from the last maybe 10 seconds or so, but seemed like it was averaging somewhere in the upper 60s, around 66, 68, driving through the community till I started hitting a lot of bumps. Then it was bouncing up around 78 or so, and then the low was somewhere around, I'd say 61 or so. So now you see it's averaging 75. Let's see if that drops. See how many seconds go by for that to drop. Just sitting idle with the fan on auto. Cut the fan off. Cut the stereo off. Alright, I'm gonna let this shut down and check that other car while I drive, because man, that thing was noisy as all get out. We haven't had rain for probably a couple weeks, but it's supposed to rain the next 3-4 days, so time to get this situation ready for rain, and anything that's outside need to be put inside if it's not rainproof. So we're gonna clean up out here. And I got a couple things to do to this car. I ran the dehumidifier in it because I power washed the carpets yesterday. Washed the carpets, so let's see if they're dry. See how much water we collected in here. That thing's about a quarter full. See the water level down there? Carpets are still wet, so I might try to. The heck is this? I don't know how this is on this side of the seat. What the heck happened here? I gotta check that out. I've never seen that cord from the seat under here like this. Let me see what's going on there and keep running this in here and clean up out here before the rain comes. That's priority one. Now for the moment of truth. Time to do a compression test on the engine we installed. The first cylinder, bam, about 150. Cylinder 2, bam, about 150. Cylinder 3, wow, 152 or something like that. Cylinder 4, another 152, 153. Cylinder 5, looks like about 145, so they're all pretty even across the board. cover that back up, man, we got a good strong engine. Yes. All right, the compression test is done. I'm gonna take this thing for a little test drive around the block so we can see how much noise this thing is actually making. So let me prime the fuel. I'm gonna set that up there. I don't know if this is a true representation of the sound, but probably is. Sounds like the CV axle's falling apart on this thing. To me, it sounds like the driver's side CV axle's falling apart on this thing. Let's check it. All right, let's check the averages here. 69, 61, 71, 61. That's idle. So I fixed what was wrong in the suspension, and this is our max and our minimum. So hey, we are doing pretty good. Not as quiet as my car, but this thing has a sports exhaust, so we should be good to go. We are here in our new XC90R design. Of course, all the R design stuff is kind of worn off. High mileage vehicle, 225, but it's a 2014. Already got gas in it. We got it. It had less than 25 miles to empty registered on it, so had to get gas. Had to get it out of the clutches of a person.
In 1,000 feet, use the second from the left lane to turn left onto Fields-Ertel Road.
I'd say neglecting it because, as you can see, a wiper arm's busted. It's got a misfired code. Hopefully it's something simple. But hey, we're going to give it a shot, see how it turns out for us. If you made it this far, I trust that you found some information that was either useful or entertaining, so go ahead and hit the like button. And if you would like notification of future videos that I post, please subscribe to the channel. I appreciate your support. You can follow me on other social media apps by looking for @RobertDIY. Some form of that should bring up the other channels that I have on places like Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and so forth. If for some reason you need some more personal help, go to my website at robertdiy.com and use the phone number that I have posted there to send me a text message, or you can email me. If you have questions or comments, please make a comment below. And if you'd like to make some kind of financial contribution to what I got going on here, go to my channel and hit the more link at the end of the introduction statement, and it'll show you different ways that you can support me financially. Again, thanks for watching. I hope you have a great day.